I wish I was told this during my time of identity loss. And I am so excited to share this with you. And in hopes that it can perhaps give you a different perspective of what's going on in your life right now. For my returning subscribers, welcome back. So excited to have you here again. And for new viewers to the channel, my name is Estevan, and I help guide and mentor people going through identity loss into a life of ego-soul integration full of peace and purpose. Every time that you embody a particular narrative, a particular story about who you are supposed to be, often driven and controlled by the complexes that live within you, brought up by traumatic experiences in your life, the relationship with your parents or guardian, siblings, friends, shaped something within you, a both light and shadow aspect that has now filtered into your ego and has given you this performer and individual you have to show and be. And it has created a story and a narrative behind it. And you have chased this narrative. You are, let's say, supposed to be rich. You're supposed to be the funny person. You're supposed to be the family man or the family woman. But you're at a point right now where none of that is making sense anymore. You are simultaneously wanting it, but not at the same time. You don't feel the drive to get it anymore. You feel the walls are closing in. You feel the foundation within you, your inner psyche, the foundation is shaky and rattling, and it's scary, and you're not sure what's going on. A lot of things are not making sense anymore. And you're finding it difficult to even find that home within you. What you're experiencing right now is a ritual, an initiation. You might be asking right now, well, an initiation for what? A ritual for what? The ritual and initiation for a rebirth. The new you, the evolved you. Not something different. And this is the funny part. Not something different, but instead evolving into more of you, the truer you. It is evolving in a deeper way, a more connection to the genuine person you can be that can then express itself in the widest way possible outwardly. See, we often build an identity, we build a performer, a persona that we want everyone to see in a particular way. We need to advance our careers, make all these friends to prove some narrative in our mind, the story that we are worthy, that we are worthy of love and admiration and attention. Whatever the narrative and the story is. And the more we acquire, the better we will get. But it is truly found, this level of deeper integration between your ego and soul, bridged with your heart, is really only found when you collapse the identity. Now, I'm not going to be the individual to say that it's going to be a pleasant ride. It's like the worst experience. It sucks. It's painful. You don't want to do anything. Well, it depends on your flavor, right? You're either fighting it, you're either avoiding it, or you're simply just freezing and watching all things collapse around you. Depends on your flavor and what you've been doing. But if you allow it to fall, not in a masochistic way, not in that way, but in the way that you see this as a beautiful act of death and rebirth cycle. Because this is what it is. The old story is not fitting with who you are anymore. The soul knows The soul knows best because the soul is what's connected to divine energies. I'm sure you've had moments in your life where you were connected to something beyond you and you didn't understand it. Perhaps you've been denying it, or maybe you've accepted it and you've been trying to connect to it more and more. Your soul is connected to something divine. Now, what label? I'm not sure. I have no idea. But nevertheless, it's there. And it has this funny way of timing, of synchronicity with the world around you. Sometimes in relationship, sometimes just the external. You notice things happening around you that connect in a weird way. That feels unusual. That starts to make sense of the chaos you're in. Within your soul has the answer. And it feels like betrayal when your identity is falling apart. It feels like this is not right. Why is this happening to me? And I get how frustrating it is. But when you're going through, maybe you're a young adult going into your mid to late 20s, maybe you're in your 30s going to your late 30s and then early 40s, every cycle has a rebirth and a death of your identity. But every time it dies, it is reborn into the more authentic you. There are parts of you that maybe in your early 30s or late 30s, you go, you know what? The things I cared about when I was in my 20s, I just don't care about it anymore. Superficial things and people who make fun of me for certain reasons or whatever, I don't care anymore. You've shed the identity that once cared. You once did care. And it once bothered you, and you did everything you could to make sure you avoided that kind of problem and drama. But now you don't care anymore. And so, as the cycle continues, there will be more things you'll be shedding off. But of course, those things you cared about, you wanted to have all these people like you because there was a complex within you that felt abandoned when you were a child, that didn't have the companionship that you desired. And so you crave it. And so you built a life, a persona that makes it so that people can like you and connect to you. But you've dropped it, and not dropped it into despair. You've dropped it and yet incorporated within you this love that you have for yourself. That you say, you know, if I know one thing, I've been there for me. I've been there for myself. And I'm proud of that. And I'm happy about that. And having friends is great. But anything of excess, I don't need anymore. Well, that's a beautiful thing. But I would imagine that during that dip and that cycle, it must have been misery. Must have been agony. Something that you wished never happened. But at the other end, synchronicity, the connection with that divine within your soul has made it so you come out on the other end more integrated. Stronger than before, but in a different way. More tighter constitution within you. You feel your ego has strengthened, not inflated. Your soul has brightened, not dimmed. The narratives have not left you. They have just been recalibrated, adjusted for the new path you are on. And so if you are in the midst of that identity crisis, that loss, the dip, let it play out. Observe what's happening. Observe which narrative is not making sense anymore. Now, what I want you to treat this like, not like a corporate meeting, but a spiritual meeting. A meeting of the different parts within you, the complexes within you, the shadows within those complexes. And to have a communication with it. Ask it what it needs. What does it want? What is it feeling? Be an observer. Be the king or queen archetype that encompasses balance and vision and protection of its people and grants the blessing, grants an opportunity for people to speak and uses that power, that inner power, not to be a tyrant or not to be a weakling in a void, but to sit and contend with it. And you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, you're going to have days you don't want to do it, and you're going to have days you do want to do it. And that is okay. Micro to macro. It's the small changes that will lead to big changes. So if you only want to dive into this for 5 minutes today, just do it for 5 minutes. If you feel inspired and you want to do it for 2 hours, do it for 2 hours. The beauty of soul work, shadow work, ego-soul integration, don't put a timeline on it. Just have the intention. The intention to stay on course as much as you can, even if it's on a snail's pace. It's okay. And if it's not okay anywhere else, it's okay over here with me. Totally okay. You don't need to rush. You don't need to be anything. All you need to be is vulnerable, open, receptive, willing to confront. And this is a safe environment where you can do that. And I really hope that you can. If this resonated with you and you want to go deeper into my community, I'd love for you to join my newsletter. Click that button below. It'll send you over. Sign up to my monthly newsletter. And I'm also going to send you my 3-step identity rebuilding guide. And it's a toolkit you can use to help you navigate through this process at your own pace, at your own time. It's something that I'm so excited to share with you. And every time I make these videos, it brings me such joy. And to read some of the comments that come up and talk about how they've been struggling with X, Y, and Z, and they feel some peace coming within them, or that they finally feel this sense of connection that they haven't really felt before, and they weren't able to connect in that way with, other videos that they've seen, and that brings me such joy and happiness. So I thank you for giving me that, and this is why I do these every single day. I just want to keep communicating with you. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next video.